Hello, everybody. So today's case, we're going to be talking about Radiah Gilbert. Now, before we really get into it, I really want you guys to understand, and I'm going to stress this. One, there are very few photos of Radiah, but also the information is almost non-existent. I feel like I've said that in just about every video I've done so far, but this one is next level. So I prepare my notes. I write it down in my notebook, which is how I take all the notes on the cases I'm doing, and I kind of make a script to go off of like a timeline with all the information, kind of what I want to say. And these notes for Radiah's case, they take up barely an entire piece of notebook paper, like front, no back, front page. That's all the information we have. And I really just wanted to focus a video on her without putting in like a mini cases video, is just because of the details surrounding her case that we do have are incredibly heartbreaking, and we have more details for her than we do for the cases in my mini videos, if that makes sense. So I felt like she just deserved her own video. I don't know if that makes sense. You'll see when we get into it, but I just wanted to put that out there because I know that I'm going to finish the information I have for you so quickly, and I'm gonna feel like I've barely sat here because I'll be lucky if it's even takes up a couple minutes of me telling you what's going on. And I just wanted to stress that there's very little information, which is incredibly unfortunate. You know, we always hope that there's more information than what we do have, but we really just don't have anything. So now that I've said that, all the links that I used for research will be down below, like always, as well as a link to a case suggestions form. And now that my long spiel is out of the way, let's get into the case of Radiah Gilbert. So like I said, there really isn't a whole lot information about Radiah, like who she is as a person, or anything like that, but also about the case in general. So at the time that this was going on, she was only 21 years old. She was very young. She had her whole life ahead of her. And like many people her age, she had hopes and dreams that she wanted to fulfill. And according to reports, she lived with her mom. Um, the name of her mom just changed in the article that you're reading. Some say that her name is Makita, and other articles say her name is Marguerite. So I'm not sure which one it is. I've seen Makita the most, so I'm going to say that her mom's name is Makita. But she was living with her mom, Makita, while she figured out her next steps to fulfill the dreams that she has, which isn't really weird. A lot of people in their 20s still live with their parents while they try to get on their feet and really, go about their life. But sadly, she would develop an addiction to crack cocaine, and soon she decided to leave her mom's home because she didn't want to be confronted with conversations about her going to rehab. She didn't want her mom to be like, hey, you need to get help, you need to get off this. You want to do all this with your life, you can't do that while also having this addiction. She just, did not want to have these conversations, so she decided to leave. And it is suspected, there are also reports that say it's suspected, that she'd also become involved in prostitution. But I didn't see that one quite as much. But I did want to put that out there that there are reports that, she became addicted to crack cocaine, possibly was a part of prostitution, and she left her mother's house because she didn't want to have that conversation with her mom. She's probably thinking, I'm a grown adult, I can do what I want. And her mother, Makita, is probably just looking out for her best interest. So if you have a loved one that has addictions, you probably are familiar with those kind of conversations and how they go. But by June 24th, in 1983, she reportedly lived in and out of several hotels in the East Nashville, Tennessee area. She was last seen by several acquaintances at the Rodeway Inn in Nashville. So the Doe Network states that she was 7 months pregnant at the time and was due to give birth in either August or September of 2013. So if you're thinking, wow, we just skipped from 1983 to 2013, don't be alarmed. So by 1983, that is when she was basically having her addiction to crack cocaine, and basically since then, she'd been out of her mother's house, living in and out of several hotels, and in 2013, she was due to give birth because she was 7 months pregnant. But despite her supposedly being about to give birth in just a couple months, she was never seen or heard from again. News reports about her case are scarce. There's not a whole lot out there. And what information we do have is quite minimal. So her last steps on the day she went missing are unknown, and her mom has since passed away. Unfortunately, she has passed away not knowing what happened to her daughter, her grandchild, we don't know. At the time of her disappearance, she was between 5 foot and 5'3" and 135 to 140 pounds. She had black or dark hair, about medium length to her shoulders, and she had brown eyes. Her nicknames are Dynasty and Dee Dee. Anybody with information that could help break this case open, lead to suspects, anything like that, they are urged to contact the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department at 615-862-7803. Again, the phone number for them is 615-862-7803, and her case number is 2013-0839625. Again, her case number is 2013-0839625. And that is the information I have for you about Radiah. So, my thoughts are I definitely think something bad happened to her. Obviously, we don't know if in 2013, when she was pregnant, if she was still addicted to these drugs. We do know that she was basically still living in and out of hotels. That doesn't necessarily, mean that she's on drugs or anything. But let's say that she is. She's dealt with this addiction her entire life. She's probably has a lot of connections through these drugs. It wouldn't be surprising if something happened to her and it was drug related and it ended in the loss of her life as well as her unborn child. That is where my first thoughts went, is that what happened to her is definitely related to the lifestyle she was living. Obviously, it could have been something else. It could have been like an opportunistic thing. It could have been an accident and she just hasn't been found. It could be a lot of things. But my mind goes to foul play that is drug related. Let me know what you guys think down below. Like always, please be respectful because you never know who can come across these videos. I think it's so sad that her mother passed away before ever having answers about her daughter. But hopefully those answers will come in time. But with that being said, thank you so much for listening to Radiah's story, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye, guys!